But I know me. I'm from the country too, but I don't do none of them things the country boys do. I don't hunt. I don't fish. Well, I do hunt and fish, but it's at the local grocery store.
Yeah, right. right. That's about to say.
Yeah, I'm not going in.
Already prepackaged.
Welcome to the Look Like Somebody podcast. Man, I'm your host, Ricky C. Simmons. I just want everybody to hit that subscribe button. It's very important that you hit that subscribe button so we can get this message out there. You know, I always look for guests, man, that are going to be interesting, to say the least. And we know we're going to throw some humor in there. But today, I know y'all not going to understand what I'm about to say, but we got one of my little brothers. Yeah, I know you're a little bigger than me, but he's still my little brother. Steve Warren, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me, my man.
Hey, look here, Steve. Look, man. Now, you know, I made a living avoiding people like you. Because y'all be having bad intentions when y'all show up,
we
man.
get there.
Yeah. Y'all got bad intentions. But one thing I would like to say, man, is thank you, first of all, for being a guest, man. That means the world to me. I know everybody's busy. Yeah. And, you know, you made time for me. That means the world to me, and I won't forget that. But I want everybody to know everything. So let's go back.
Let's get it.
Okay. Where's Steve Warren from, man?
I'm from Springfield, Missouri. I'm a hillbilly at heart. So I'm down in the sticks, down in the Ozarks. So I'm from down there by Branson and Joplin, right by the Arkansas border. So I'm down there in the woods.
Okay, so is it safe to say you're a country boy?
A little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like a little bit. I don't do much hunting or fishing.
Yeah, well,
but I'm from that area, but I don't do much of that. I was still raised in the city part of everything. I was still raised in the city part.
Why I said that when you were saying all these things, I'm thinking to myself, country boy? But I know me. I'm from the country too, but I don't do none of them things the country boys do. I don't hunt. I don't fish. Well, I do hunt and fish, but it's at the local grocery store.
Yeah, right. That's about to say.
Yeah, I'm not going in.
Already prepackaged. Prepackaged.
Well, man, again, man, I just want people to know basically where you're from and what your upbringing was like, man. What was it like growing up there?
I had a great upbringing. Like my family, man, big family.
Okay,
big family. My dad's side is from that area.
Oh, okay.
My mother actually was raised in Lawton, Oklahoma.
Oh.
So my parents met Fort Sill, Lawton, Oklahoma. That's where they met, and then they moved back to the Springfield area.
Okay.
When I was a baby, so that's where I've always known that as home. So
okay.
But big family. My dad, a lot of brothers and sisters. So huge amount of cousins.
Okay.
I'm still meeting cousins today, that type of family. So every time I go home, I got a new cousin I got to meet. So that type of family. But, man, really a community-based area. Like, as you know how they say it take a community to raise a child.
Yeah, like a village.
A village.
Right.
And I had a village. Like, I had a village. Like, everybody, I couldn't go nowhere and act up because somebody saw me.
Yes, in other words, somebody
knew
that act
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that phone call beat you home.
Oh, every time. every time. Absolutely.
Now, I'm assuming, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming sports came into play somewhere in your life.
Early. Yeah, early. Actually, it started with baseball.
Really?
Yeah, it started with baseball. My dad, where he grew up in Hartville, Missouri, didn't have football. So he didn't know, like my mom knew more about football from Oklahoma. So my dad didn't really, where he grew up, Hartville, they didn't have that. So he was boxing, baseball, basketball. So I played baseball and basketball and football growing up until about my 9th grade year.
Oh, okay.
Then I dropped everything except for football and basketball. So sports came early.
Did you always play on that defensive line, man?
You know what? Actually, earlier on, I played a little bit of everything. So I played a lot of defensive line, played some linebacker, played some running back.
I would have hated to
played a little bit of everything. I like to say, call myself the dancing bear. I had some good feet, so I played a little bit of everything. So growing up and loved the environment of being a multi-sport athlete. Loved growing up in that area. You know, we spent a lot of Sundays in the park playing basketball.
So you weren't stuck behind no TV screen.
No. We was out making it happen. Yeah.
Now, high school. What high school did you go to now?
Kickapoo High School.
Say that again.
Kickapoo. Yeah, home of the Chiefs.
Kickapoo Chiefs.
Home of the Chiefs. Yeah.
Okay.
We still not politically correct down there. We still the Kickapoo Chiefs down there.
Okay. Now, what type of career did you have in high school, man?
Great career, in the All-American. We had a good team. Like the one thing about the kids I grew up with that were in my class, we all kind of played on the same teams for a long time. So I don't remember doing much losing.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember doing much losing. We didn't win a state title, but we were Final Four team.
Okay.
My
so y'all was competitive.
Year, we was very competitive, and we played with the St. Louis kids and the Kansas City kids.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We was in the highest division in Missouri.
Okay.
So we had some good football playing back there. So it was good, but we had a good team. I played well, made it All-American out of myself, and was state champion in track, in the shot put. So I had a great time in high school, man, playing sports.
Well, let me ask you this. I know you was recruited pretty highly if you had a good career in that environment, because those are Kansas City and St. Louis. Those are not easy.
No, not at all.
Places to play.
Yeah.
And you managed to have All-American status. So that tells me that you was highly recruited.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
what were some of the schools that recruited you?
So my Final Five was Alabama, Kansas State, Kansas, Nebraska, of course, and Illinois. So kind of regional. Where I'm from, Springfield, it's one of those areas that's 2 hours from Tennessee, hour from Arkansas, 4 hours from Alabama, 3 hours from Tulsa. It's an area you can get to a lot of places fast. Where we're kind of located. So regional for us was South and Midwest.
Okay.
Because, we had that little bit of a Southern. So Arkansas was actually in that final group, too, of my final 10. So I spent a lot of time almost going to Arkansas. But those were the final groups that I finished with right there.
I'm just curious, man. Why Nebraska?
They won. I said it before. I'm not partial to losing. Not at all. So if I had to go somewhere where I knew, one, we was going to win. Gotcha. And they had just won back-to-back national titles.
Oh, yeah.
Coach Osborne was in my house 3 days later.
Oh.
After they beat Florida. So it's hard to say no to that. You can't say no to that. You come off one, you win two. The man is sitting in your house 3 days later.
Yeah.
You can't say no. And I like winning. I'm sorry. It's one thing about me, I like to win. Whatever I do, I got to be winning. So
I think that's smart.
Win. Yeah, I love to win. Even when I lose, I'm winning.
I call it you either win or you learn.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, look, man, now, when you got to Nebraska, what was it like your first year?
Oh, man, it was fun. Like I say, I fall off 2 national championships.
Yeah.
So when I got to Nebraska, the class we got to with Mike Brown, Ralph Brown, Carlos Polk, Russ Holstein, it was a good group. Dan Alexander. It was a really good, talented team. So when we got there, we thought we was the Beatles. Even though we hadn't done nothing yet. You know what I'm saying? But it was we hadn't done nothing ourselves. But we was joining that circus, right? Going everywhere. You're the top team in the country, ranked number 1, number 2 in the country. Yes. So everywhere we went, it was a show.
You knew you were going to get everybody's best shot.
Every time. No matter who it was, you knew he was going to get everybody's best shot. So it was good.
I think about that, man. Coming out of high school, I can only imagine coming to a team that's already well established.
Right.
And you got to try to crack that lineup.
Yeah.
Was that an easy process for you, or?
I've always been a big kid, so I didn't have to wait on my size like most freshmen that had to get there. I was always being a big kid. So when I got there, I was already kind of college size, right? I had to get a college body, right? I had to get in shape and learn what that meant. But size, speed, strength was already there. So I was already one of the stronger guys, one of the quicker guys at my position. So I actually played my freshman year. They didn't redshirt me, which sometimes I look back at that and wish I would have redshirted because maturity-wise, you understand that. I needed that year. And I was young, too. I was young for my age and for my class. So a year would have done a whole lot of work for me. So
a little time to
little time to grow up, and I needed that. I needed that more than anything. I didn't really need the physical side of it, but the mental maturity side of it. I needed that year to grow. But they chose not to redshirt me, and I enjoyed that time, my first year of playing, and we were beating the brakes off people. So I got to play quite a bit. Winning. I got my letter. I lettered as a freshman, so as a true freshman, so I can't complain. I played a lot because we was winning and
that's kind of rare, though, to letter as a freshman.
Yeah.
I mean, because I was just telling somebody the other day, when I was a freshman, dude, after those first, we had the freshman team.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
and we had 5 games. But after that the fifth game, they moved some of us up to the varsity, and I can remember it was like 5 of us: Craig Holman, Nate Mason, Roger Craig, Jeff Merle, and myself. Man, we didn't even bring our helmets out because we knew we weren't going to play. Yeah, we was standing on the bench trying to see the game with a baseball cap on.
Right.
Only one got to play a little bit was Jeff Merle, and he was a nose tackle out of Alabama.
Yeah.
Big Jeff could hold his own, so we nicknamed him Big Time because he got to play as a freshman. So for you to get on the field and letter as a freshman, man, that's impressive because that wasn't happening as much then as it is now.
There was actually 3 of us. Ralph started as a freshman, and then Mike played also as a freshman. They didn't redshirt him either. So we actually 3 of us out of that class did not redshirt. So
that's rare.
And all 3 of us ended up going on to play in the NFL and having good careers otherwise.
And I want to get to that, but I want to go back to Nebraska.
Yeah.
The whole time you was at Nebraska, I'm just guessing because I remember those years. Nebraska was still kind of on top.
Yeah.
So bowl games. How many bowl games did you go to?
So we went to 2 Orange Bowls, Fiesta Bowl, and the Holiday Bowl. So I spent some good times. Miami, Phoenix, and San Diego. That ain't bad. That ain't bad in December.
Yeah.
January. That's not bad at all. We'll take it.
I can honestly say that I had the pleasure the first year to go to a Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
Second year we went to the Sun Bowl, and the last 3 years was Miami and the Orange Bowl.
Oh yeah.
So I understand.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Good times. Yeah, good times.
When you wrapped up your college career, man, what was next?
NFL. So I was 3rd round pick by the Packers.
Oh, okay.
3rd round pick by the Packers. 2000 draft. Started out my career really great there. Was not a starter, but playing starter minutes. So Russell Maryland was the starter.
Oh, okay.
And then
he from Miami?
Yeah, Miami. So Russell was the starter, and I would back Russell up, and I started on 3rd down. So I was on the 3rd down team that came in. So I played a lot my rookie year until I tore my quad off my kneecap my end of the rookie year in Chicago, week 13, and that changed everything. So I tore my quad completely off my kneecap. Set out the next year, played the year after that, another year, and then that was pretty much it for my time in the NFL. But I knew once I got hurt that it was over.
Had you ever been hurt before this?
I'd had like little, bumps and bruises, back injury in college, but nothing like that. So nothing like that. And I knew once I had that injury, it was a full rupture too. So my entire quad was ripped off and part of my kneecap broke off. So I knew my goal then was like get my pension. Get the pension. Whatever you do, hold on long enough to get the pension because I knew I was never going to be the same player again.
Right.
Like that was done. Like I knew I was not the biggest dude in the world. Like I'm not 6'6", so I can't win off size. I had to win off speed and quickness, and that was gone. I was limited for me now. So the whole thing for me was just make the team, get the pension, move on.
Yeah,
move on, and that happened for me. So fortunate enough, I got that goal accomplished. I got my pension. Played another couple years in the Arena League after that with San Jose in Arizona. I had a friend that I met actually we met in the training room. We were both injured at Green Bay. He had tore his ACL. I had hurt my quad, so we rehabbed together for a year.
Oh, okay.
So we rehabbed together for a year and became good friends. That just happens. Your rehab buddy becomes one of your best friends.
Oh, yeah, because y'all both going through it.
Yeah, you're going through it. You're going through the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows. So Kevin Jordan, he was in San Jose, and after he had finished, he was a little bit out before me. He had went to San Jose and started playing in the Arena League. And he called me and he was like, "Hey, if you thinking about playing still, you should come do this." I was like, "Man, I think I'm probably gonna be done." And he was like, "No." He's like, "Listen, if you don't know what you're gonna do in life, come do this.
Yeah.
They pay for everything. Apartment, we make really good money, and we worked from like 9 a.m. to like noon.
Yeah.
So it was like a vacation for football.
Right.
It was like a vacation for football, and I said, I'll try it out. So I went and did it. I loved it. I had a good time playing. So I ended up playing there for a year, playing in Arizona. I got injured again, tore my bicep off. The funny part about that is Charlie McBride was my D-line coach in Nebraska, at Nebraska, right? So he was living in Phoenix when I was playing for the Arizona Rattlers. And so I tore my quad. I tore my bicep off. And I had called him because my wife at the time was pregnant. And we had just had the baby. And I had to have surgery. So I know she couldn't do it. So I called Coach McBride and said, hey, can you take me to my surgery? So he took me to my surgery. I woke up from the surgery, and he's sitting there. Oh. And he's like, hey, son, you done good. I'm proud of you. It's time to hang it up.
Oh, yeah.
And the next thing he said was like, don't go into coaching. Like, don't go into coaching. I was like, okay. So I'm sitting there, I'm a little drugged up. So that stuck with me all these years. It's like, first of all, this man took his time to take. That's how our relationship was, that he took me, and I could call him in that time of need. And that was our relationship at Nebraska, is that he could take care of me and make sure I was good to go. So that's the other reason why I chose Nebraska, because of Charlie McBride.
Yeah. Well, you know one thing about Nebraska coaches at that time when we was coming through?
Yeah.
Because you had a lot of the same coaches I had.
Yeah.
And, man, they stayed true to their word.
Absolutely.
Now, they was hard on you.
Absolutely.
But you know, when you needed them, much after football was over, I mean, it's well documented what Coach Osborne done for me.
Right.
So I can relate to that. And I think that's important, because in today's game, it just looks like they move around a lot more.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we had coaches that was there for decades.
Yeah.
You know, and then all of a sudden now it's kind of like that has changed.
Yeah, it's definitely changed.
Yeah.
It's definitely changed.
Let me ask you, I want to get your opinion on something.
All right.
This current climate, because we're going to get into what you're doing now, but I just wanted your personal opinion. With the current situation in college sports, what's your take on it? I mean, with all the different moving pieces that they have now that we didn't have.
You know, the interesting thing for me now is we'll talk about the academy and dream and what I'm doing, but I've been fortunate enough to be around this kind of change in what's happening in college and recruiting for years now. But now my own son is going through it. So my take before and my take now is a little different, because I see it from both sides. I see it from the side of me being a coach and a trainer and helping players that aren't my biological kids. They're still my kids. They aren't my biological kids. Make it, and get a chance to play at the next level. But now I've got my own son going through the process, and he's going to be a junior. So it is a different world. I talk to, the guys like us that have played, and we didn't have the stuff that they get. And it's fortunate. It's good for them, because we should have had that.
Right.
But we didn't. So I'm happy that it's happening. I just don't like sometimes how it is. I was talking to a buddy of mine this morning, my college roommate. He was a wrestler, and he's got a daughter that's a high-level tennis player, and we were talking about recruiting. And the one thing I talked to him about was I wish that the recruiting – the reason why I like Charlie McBride, because I came on my visit, and he told me the truth. Yes. He told me, I like you. You're not my favorite player. We want you to come play here, but there's things you're going to have to do to play. And I loved that as a athlete, because I knew he was coming from a truthful place, and he wasn't sugarcoating stuff. He wasn't sugarcoating me. And now, you don't know, because everything's recruiting. They're recruiting the people on their own roster. They're trying to keep them. They're trying to get the kids to come in now. And then you've got agents now that are in the play. So there's so many people pulling on these kids and telling them how great they are.
Yeah.
That can ruin a kid if they don't have the right guidance around them, because these kids aren't that good yet, to where a lot of them aren't ready to play. And they need to know that. So right now the climate is it's constant recruiting. Yeah. Constant recruiting. It's constant, trying to make sure kids are loved up. Not a lot of tough love anymore, because it's hard to do the tough love still and have kids stay.
Well, it's funny you say that, because what goes in my mind, because I'm a huge Nebraska fan, but I don't really do the sport thing.
Yeah.
But I just think about some of the coaches that I had and some of the coaches that you had. Yeah. I think they would be in trouble in today's.
They couldn't do it.
Yeah, they'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't trying to put nobody on blast, but them dudes was very confrontational, to say the least.
Yeah.
So I was kind of always thought about that. I was like, with today's climate, you got to be careful with these kids, and especially the ones that have had some success.
Yeah.
Because they have options that we didn't really think about.
A lot of options. A lot of options. I know that not just, one or two options. You know what I mean? When we played, if you wanted to leave, you had to go down.
Yeah.
Right? To leave and go and be able to play again, or you had to sit out.
Right.
These kids can go next door. and play tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, so it's different. So it's a lot different. But we're kind of like, from my own, what we're looking for with my son and I, we are looking for that real, like, we're not looking for, pat us on the back, tell us how good we are.
Yeah, we put in some work.
Yeah, like, we're looking for, like, what's real? Like, what do I need to work on?
Right.
Like, so we're looking for coaches that can do that. You know what I mean? And so I think it is different in that regard, that there's a lot of coaches that still have that, and there's a lot of coaches that don't. You know what I mean? There's a lot of coaches that are just, they're salesmen, right? They're salesmen. That's what they do. Like, they're corporate, they're CEO.
Yeah.
They're trying to build that from that level. And there's some coaches that are still just ball coaches. Right. And so we're looking for the ball coaches. And it's a happy medium between the two. But I like what's happening. These kids deserve to be getting paid, especially with the amount of exposure that they can bring to a school now is different than what we could do too.
Right.
Social media, podcasts,
right.
All the stuff that they have in their hands with their phone.
Yes, they are very active and they're very good at multitasking. I've seen that. Yeah. I want to shift to what you're currently doing, man, with this with your academy.
Yeah. So
can you tell me about that? I mean, how that even came about and all the things that you do.
So when I finished playing, came back to Omaha, just trying to figure out kind of that next step in life. You know how some of us former players, we go through college, we get a degree, but we still don't know what we want to do.
Right.
And I was that guy. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do after football. Right. I thought I'd play football 10 years in the NFL and retire and be good. Right. That's everybody's dream. Right. So didn't happen that way. So I came back. Fortunate enough, I finished my degree after I got injured. Because like I said, I didn't redshirt. So I came back at 3.5 years when I left school, and I was a semester away from graduating. So I had to come back and finish my degree. So fortunately, I finished my degree. So I had my degree when I came back, but still didn't know what I wanted to do. So just kind of sitting around, and my mother always told me, if whatever you're supposed to be doing, God will put it in your path, and just listen and follow the footsteps. Come from a very spiritual household.
Right.
And so that was big for me. It was just, where is God leading me? And at the time, he was leading me to do Dream, which is our nonprofit. So started Dream, which is after-school programs, mentoring, giving back to the kids that are less fortunate than us, kids that need support, that don't maybe have it at home, don't maybe have it at school. They need somebody to help guide them, show them they care. They might not have the financial resources. So God led me to that. That was the world that led me to. So one of my friend's mother was a principal at Walnut Hill Elementary. So she asked me to come over and speak. And that one day of coming to volunteer turned into now 20 years later.
Wow.
Dream is now an organization that has after-school program, like I mentioned, mentoring. We added the sports side of Warren Academy a year or so after I started Dream, which Warren Academy is our sports-based organization and our arm of Dream. So that's athletic training, sports training, 7-on-7, mentoring also from a sports standpoint. So now we're 20 years later down the road with Dream and Warren Academy. We serve about 600 kids every day, all year long. So that's summertime, that's school year. And then on the Warren Academy side, in the last year, we've served 2,800 athletes and clients. So we're just trying to give back in a way that we can help kids and families have the resources they need to reach their dreams and goals.
20 years.
Yeah, going on 20 years. Next year will be our 20-year anniversary.
Wow. First of all I can say is congrats, man.
Appreciate you, bro. Yes, sir.
I think that's huge. Matter of fact, I've seen some things, and correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all have actually assisted kids in getting to the next level.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we've got I think right now, like, we've had 3 in this draft. So 3 in this past draft that got drafted. 6 to 9 total right now that are current NFL guys. Another guy right now, Fadarius Payne, that loved that kid. He played at Nebraska, went to Virginia Tech. He's back here. He's looking for his shot again in the NFL. So we've now become that group to where guys have come through the program, come back. They're help the younger generation. They're doing what we did when we got done playing, is come back and, guide some of these young players that want to make it to where we've been. So yeah, we've got several guys in the NFL right now. We've got, I think last check, we had 159 athletes on college football rosters last year. We've also expanded into soccer, though, too, and the basketball. So,
wow, okay.
We train Sporting Nebraska is one of the largest soccer organizations in Nebraska, and we train their top teams and some of their other teams. So we've been doing that now for 7 years. So we've also expanded into that level, and then we just started at Going Vertical Basketball Academy. So we started training basketball athletes too. So 2 different locations. 144th and Giles is our soccer football location, and then Going Vertical just around the corner, right off 144th and I-80, that Sapp Brothers exit right around there. Yeah. So that's the basketball organization that we're helping over there too. So it's fun though. For me, I get to I don't get to do a lot of the coaching anymore. I've now kind of morphed into that CEO role. Yeah. So where I'm out just making sure that the coaches have what they need, that our people at Dream have what they need. I'm fortunate enough that I have a side on the Dream side of the school-based side of it. And I say Dream and Warren Academy because we kind of like co-brand them different. Yeah. One is sports, one is after-school programs, mentoring, education. So some of our funders, they need to know the difference. They need to know the difference. So on the school-based side of it, I'm fortunate enough to have a whole team, 50 employees that run that. And then I have another 40 or so that help out on the Warren Academy side. So it's a team effort. I always say, like, people see our success and they want to credit, Steve Warren. And I always say, no, it don't have nothing to do with me. Yeah. It has everything to do with the people that I have working with me alongside of me. That's why we're successful. I'm just here to help with the guidance and the vision. You know what I like? What I heard when you was explaining that, I heard humble. Mm. You're a humble man. I respect that because humility is missing. Mm. And the fact that you know that you were instrumental in getting this thing started, but you also, you're humble enough to realize that it took other people to join you. Yeah. To make this thing really work. Amen, yeah. And I respect that because I think humility doesn't get the credit that it's due. I think humility falls right in there with positivity. Mm. If it's negative, it seems to get a lot of attention. Right. But too much. Yeah, exactly. It's like negativity gets all the attention, but positive and humble is really what makes everything work. Yeah. Because if you run around with, I'm Steve Warren. Right. I did this, I did that. I think your work, the people that work with you would have a different look. They'd have a different approach towards you. Right. But the fact that you're humble enough to realize that I can't do it without these people. Yeah. And these funders, to me, dude, I just want to say congratulations for having that because, see, a lot of times when we have some success, it's absolutely. It's all about me, baby. I got what I did. Yeah, look at me, man. And I just think that that's not a real good look when you come to the big picture. For me, like we talked about this earlier, it's like I like fading to the back. Yeah, like I'm the guy that doesn't like. I can be in front of the camera if you need me to, or I can be up front. I have no problem doing that, but that's not where I want to be. Right. I want to push everybody else forward. And that's smart. And push everybody else forward, and because they're the ones that are at the end of the day, they're the ones doing the real work. Exactly. Like we all have a job to do. Like correct. Right now, I'm not want to diminish anything that I do as a CEO or as a president, but what they're doing daily, it's a big thing too. Right. If without them, there's nothing. Right. Without those guys doing, it'd be a little hard for Steve Warren to do all the jobs everybody else is doing. Right. Like right now, like I have a staff that's working right now, both Going Vertical and Giles and the sports academy, and then I've got a staff that's working in the schools right now. But if I had to be there, right? Yeah. Or if I'm not there, if I don't have people there that I can trust, that I know that are good people that are doing the right things, none of this matters. None of this works. What we're talking about, none of those kids make it to college. None of those kids are getting the meals that they need or the clothes they need every day on this, or the mentors coming through. So that doesn't happen with just me. I'm just part of it. That's it. That's where I go back to humility. Yeah. You know that. Yeah. I've ran across so many people, man, across the country that,
humility is not the strong suit.
Right.
You know, and I'm trying to be nice when I say that. You know, it's almost borderline arrogant.
Right.
But I think humility gets a lot more accomplished than arrogance.
Yeah.
You know, and we just live in my opinion, we live in a takedown society in most cases where we're divided or we don't want to see this person do better than that person. And to see an organization that you pretty much started blossom into what it is. As a man, I'm saying thank you because, man, the youth is our future. Yeah. And a lot of people don't want to take a look at that. But, man, I don't know, but my mind might tell me I can run a 4.3, but I better not try.
Right. I know those kids try to get me out there to do stuff all the time. Like, those days are past.
Yeah,
like, I got other young dudes that are helping now. They can do it with you, but not me.
I tell people all the time, they're like, yo, Rick, man, when you played, man, you ran a 4.35, man, can you still run? And my response is the same to every one of them. If you see me running, you run.
Right.
Something bad is happening.
Something coming this way.
Yeah, something bad is happening if I'm running. What I'm trying to say in a nice way, man, is you realize what you're doing. You realize what you can and what you can't do. Right. And you've empowered others to do these things for the common good of the youth. Yeah. That's talking about
we over me.
Yeah,
we over me because if it's just me, it's not getting done in a good way. But we can do a lot. We over me.
We over me.
Yeah, over me. Like if it's that's what it's about. So I tell people that all the time, and sometimes some of my friends get angry with me because they're like, "No, you need to take more credit for this," but it's not in me. Yeah, because I know I can't take all the credit. I can take some of the credit. Right. I can't take all the credit, and the majority of it I can't take because the majority of it I didn't do alone.
Most people that have the ability to say we versus me, I put them in the category that I currently reside in, which is high self-esteem. Yeah. I already love Ricky. Yeah. I don't really need anyone else.
I don't need you to pat me on the back. Yeah.
I do that myself. Right. You know, and it's not out of arrogance, but it's like we live in a world where sometimes if you're counting on others for your self-esteem, you're going to come up short.
Every day. Yeah, every
day.
That's
just what I see.
Every day, and I believe the same thing. That's funny that you put it that way because I never really thought of that high self-esteem stuff, but it's true. Like, I love me some me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. I love me some me, but at the same time, like, I don't need you to tell me how great I am.
Man, I'm telling you.
I wake up every day feeling like I'm great.
And see, that's what I was just going to say. Boy, when I wake up, the first thing I do is smile.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm like, whoa, I got another shot at being happy and being me, and I love what I stand for. Yeah. You know, so now let me see how I can go and impact somebody else in a positive way. I think that's important, man, and I just want to encourage you as a little brother, man, just know that I'm proud of you.
I appreciate it.
And I keep saying that because I want you to understand it. I want it on record.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Because a lot of people, instead of saying I'm proud of you, they'd rather say, who do you think you are?
Right. Tear you down.
I don't know what the value in that is, but I guess some people really, that's how they think. And I'm cool with them too, because I know I have guidelines in place for them. Yeah. I call it 50 feet rule. Right. I give them 50 feet. Right. You know, because if you want to be negative, just do it over there, way over there.
Yeah, we can speak, but keep it moving.
Yeah, man, matter of fact.
Yeah, keep it moving.
I ain't going to say what I wanted to say.
Right. I already know. Hey, that's for another time.
Yeah, right. I'm going to say it like this. Your feet gone. Yeah. I don't know what your behind weight gone.
Yeah.
Gone, man. Yeah. I get it. So I guess the bottom line is this, man. Steve, whether anyone gives you credit or not, you know, just keep doing what you're doing.
All right. Yes, sir.
And I had another question for you. All right. Just curious, man. What are future goals for yourself?
Oh, man, you know what? I think now that I've gotten, this is going to be funny, but now that I've gotten to the age I'm at now, like my goals have changed. Like when I was younger and starting Dream 20 years ago, my goals were the organization, let's get it here, let's do this, let's make sure the family's this, the family's that. Like, so my goals right now are more of I want to make sure my own personal family is good. Like I've got a son, like I said, that's coming up. I've got 2 daughters in college. I've got a 5-year-old starting elementary school next year. So my goals now are they straight? That's always been the goal, but that's now become the primary goal, right? But before, like the goals were family, they was divided equally, like business, family, opera, those things. But now it's family for sure is the primary goal. Like it's the number one thing. Like, so it's always been high, but I can't truly say it's always been the top priority.
Right.
Because I was chasing something, right? I was chasing greatness. I was building an organization. So a lot of times my attention was on that. But now I'm trying to change my goals to where my attention is fully on my kids, and that now the organization is pretty stable. That's the good thing. It's like, and that goes back to having great people around me that helped me build this, is that we're a pretty stable organization. So now I can sit back and still run the organization, but now I can devote more time to my family. So now that's my goal, is just to make sure my kids are straight, that
now you say
the organization stays sustainable.
You say you got two daughters in college?
2, yeah.
Okay, and then you got a son that's getting ready to be a junior?
A junior at Westside, yes, sir, as quarterback.
And then one getting ready to start elementary.
One to start elementary school.
Yeah, well, boy, you still got plenty.
Yeah. I hit the reset button.
Well, you got plenty to keep you busy.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, you ain't got to worry about being bored.
No, nothing. I have plenty going on. And so, like I said, the organization is doing well. We just started at going vertical, so that's exciting because now we're into that basketball world. The school-based side of it is sustainable, and we're just looking for the next school year now, trying to get things organized and planned. So now for me, that's the fun part. It's kind of the boring part, too, in a ways, because I'm not. When we started, I was doing everything. I was cleaning up.
I
was putting away. I was putting on the program. I was shutting off the lights, turning on the lights. Now I'm just, are the lights on?
Yeah.
Did y'all shut the door?
Right.
Right. Now it's that. Now it's making sure the boxes are checked.
Do you have a building for Warren Academy?
So yeah, we're in. We don't have a physical building we own ourselves. So we're in 2 facilities for Warren Academy, like I was talking about earlier. So the soccer and football facilities on 144th and Giles, the center, and then going vertical is another one on 370 off I-80 370 area that way. And then we're in the school. So on the school-based side, we're in the school. So we're in elementary and middle schools in North Omaha. In North Omaha is where we do the after-school programming. So that's all North Omaha. We're in 10 different schools there.
Oh, man. Yeah, you got to have a staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's
no way.
Yeah, I don't see you doing all that by yourself.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, but you know what, though? I like the fact that you're not just focused on the kids that are fortunate financially.
Yeah.
You're focusing on all the kids.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know North Omaha has some people that are okay.
Right.
But they have a lot of people that aren't.
Right.
So you're making sure that everybody's covered.
Right. That's the fun part, too, is if we just take the sports side, you get this being a former athlete, is you get people from all walks of life.
Right.
So what we see on the sports side of it is now the fun thing, too, is that our funders are starting to see the benefits of athletics. Like before, like when we first started Dream, I couldn't bring up sports. Like they didn't want to hear anything about sports. They just wanted to know like school-based stuff. But now they're starting to see the benefits of what athletics does, and it's not all about just dribbling, jumping, running fast, and hitting people hard. It's about building community and relationships, because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for sports.
Right, yeah.
Right, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have these relationships that we have if it wasn't for sports. We wouldn't know a lot of the people we know if it wasn't for sports. So what we see is we're able to build those bridges from kids that don't have a lot to kids that have everything in the world or seem like they have everything in the world. And then we put them together and we see what happens from that. So the fun part for me is being able to sit back on a Friday night and see kids from Omaha North and Elkhorn South embrace like brothers.
Yeah. Right?
And see kids from all over, from little small towns in western Nebraska to the city of Omaha or Lincoln, and they see each other and they embrace like brothers because they've now trained with each other. They've now been in the same environment. We're breaking down those barriers of kids that are maybe coming from West Nebraska that hadn't been around a lot of black people.
Right.
But now they're now okay. So the myths and the stereotypes aren't there, and the kids, the black people that haven't been around a lot of white people. Now those myths and stereotypes are being broken down, and they're like, okay, this dude is actually pretty cool.
Right.
Like they think,
and sports plays a big part.
A huge part of that.
Yeah, I agree. And I was thinking back to when we first started the conversation when you was talking about being a freshman.
Yeah.
And you named off those guys that you came in with. I left out one guy that's no longer with us, but I want to acknowledge him. His name is Nate Mason. That was my roommate.
All right.
And he's a quarterback.
Yeah.
The people that I met at Nebraska over the 5 years I was there, we're still friends to this day. Quite a few of them.
Yeah.
And that's what you are building with these youngsters. You're giving them a chance to build relationships that will last forever.
Right.
And that's important. Like a lot of people from Nebraska, when they say, they ask me questions about my former teammates, probably the one I'm the most closest to is Mike Rozier.
Yeah.
And, when they say, man, how often do you talk to Mike? I'm like, every day.
Yeah.
And it's like decades later after we played. I guess the most important thing to me is the relationships that you are starting to help build at a very young age. The youth that you're helping, they don't really realize that some of these guys that they're meeting now or girls or they're going to be friends forever. But they don't know it at this moment because they don't have hindsight.
Right.
But, man, I think what you're doing is, I knew about what you do, but I didn't know exactly what all you did.
And I think that's the part where I need to grow the most, is because that humility sometimes does hurt us because I'm not a look at us, look at me type of person. It's more of like, this is what we do. If people know, they know. If they don't, they don't. And I need to put it out there more.
Yeah, I'm going to challenge you on that.
That's where I need to grow as an individual, as a CEO, is making sure that we are saying who we are.
Right.
And doing what we're doing.
That
ain't
bragging, man.
Right.
That's
just the fact.
Yeah, that's just the facts.
Yeah.
Plus, you're really letting people know that you're another option.
Yeah.
And if people don't know that you're an option.
Yeah.
I mean, just like me, I know about Warren Academy, but I didn't know what all they did. Right. I mean, so, dude, that's very impressive what you're doing, because you're not only, like you said, you're not just doing athletics. You're grooming young men and women into being adults and being productive members of society. We need all that we can get.
Yeah, and it's important because these relationships, like you talk about, mean so much just to us as a community. One, let's just start like Nebraska, right? Like these relationships, relationships can either, start or end wars.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we need positive relationships where we talk about the positive stuff. And, DREAM stands for developing relationships through education, athletics, and mentoring. That's what the organization stands for. So our foundation was built on developing relationships first. Right, and then we do it through education, athletics, and mentoring. Those are the ways that we do it. But the relationships come first, because without the relationships,
everything else
nothing else matters. Yeah. And like you say, kids don't see that right now. But the fun part now is we've been around 20 years. So the guys that started with us, they come back now. They come back and be like, man, like if it wasn't for
and see, to me, that makes everything come together.
Yeah,
because now these current youth that are just getting involved, they got the opportunity to see guys or girls that have been in the program and now coming back. And they're not speaking from what they heard. They're speaking of what they did for them. Yeah. I think that's amazing, man, because let's just be real, man. Our youth, they tend to listen to their peers more than they do anybody.
Every day. Every day. We was the same way.
Yeah. And that's why I can say that with so much confidence. I would listen to my buddies way faster than I would listen to an adult.
Right.
Because especially if it was a parent.
Oh, yeah.
Man, you just mom, you just dad.
Yeah, you don't know.
You don't know nothing. This is brand new.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know nothing about this. So I think the most important thing is, man, that I think it's real big that you get the people that have went through the program to come back. Now, see, that was a aspect that I wasn't even thinking about.
Yeah.
I think that's huge.
It's a must.
Yeah. Because
it's a must have.
Well, they get a chance to see living proof.
Right. I don't have to say it.
Yeah.
You can see it.
Right.
You can see it. Like this is what listening can do for you.
Right.
Yeah, this is what listening can do for you.
You ain't always got to be a genius.
Right, you don't have to. And it's, it's just keeping things simple, though, too. Like, for us, it's, not trying to make things complicated in anything, even the relationships. Like, keep it simple. Like, what's the basic things that we can do and have a high impact, right? Like, we don't have to do the crazy things and the flamboyant things. And we try to, our guys that come back, Adrian Martinez was in a few weeks ago. And he was sitting with some of our younger guys, and they were talking about how much they were squatting and benching and all this kind of stuff. And they looked at him and said, "How much?" He was like, "Man, what are you doing that for? Like, you don't have to do all of that. Right. Like that's not the requirement. Like, but they don't know, they're young, right? So he's telling them, like, it's about movement, it's about these things. But if he wouldn't have been there and telling these kids would have been killing themselves for no reason, for things that don't matter, right?" Yeah. Like, so what are the things that are simple that you can get there? But again, him being a current New York Jet, talking to a kid that's currently in high school trying to get to where he's at, like, what is that impact going to yield, right? Like, what is that? We don't, like, that's fun for me because I get to sit there and hear those conversations, and I'm not doing nothing but sitting there.
But you know what? Right. It's very important that they hear it from someone that they are trying to be like.
Right.
I mean, because at the end of the day, these kids, man, they're gonna gravitate to whatever they want to do, and I mean, to have Adrian Martinez sitting there,
right, saying
stuff, and then these kids can turn around and they got all these technical things. They can Google him,
right,
and they can find out whatever they want to find out,
right.
So I think that's big, man. I'm just so impressed with the overall thing. I mean, the big picture, because, like I said, I have and you have the ability to have hindsight over 99% of the youth that you're trying to help.
Right.
Because they, I mean, they're not, I'm not calling them uneducated, but they just haven't lived long enough to understand.
They don't have the experiences.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just think that keeping them around positivity and being a positive influence, I see the potential of winning.
Yeah.
And like you said, when you ain't winning, you're learning.
Right.
So still winning.
Absolutely.
And that, to me, is the most important thing. I was just sitting there thinking, too, man, I mean, all the stuff you're doing, I'm just trying to figure out what led you to want to do this.
I think, people thought I was crazy when we started this. Because
I'm sure you got some looks.
Yeah, because for one, it was like, why are you, there's not a lot of money in this, and there's not but it wasn't ever about that. Like, it was always about, like, things that I can do and have an impact on, and I had a passion for it, right? Like, there was other things that I looked at doing, and it just seemed like miserable. Like, just thinking about doing it just made me miserable. And I talked about growing up in a, spiritual household that God is first, right? I always felt like that if this is what God was leading me to do, that those things would take care of themselves. Like, I would be able to take care of myself. He's going to make sure he provides what I need to be able to do what he needs me to do. Yeah. So what led me to it, honestly, was that relationship with God and just listening and walking out on faith and just listening to what he had told me that he needed me to do. And, there was times I questioned, like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Like, are you sure?
You got a lot of confidence in me.
Sure? Like, are you sure? There's times I questioned, but that's really, at the end of the day, that's what led me to it, is it wasn't anything that I chose. It was something that chose me. And I just listened. That's it. I just listened, and then here we are, 20 years later.
Well, the spirituality part really means a lot to me because I've never considered myself like a pastor or nothing,
right,
but I do believe.
Right.
And a lot of times when you, and I'm speaking for myself, when you go through the adversity of life, you pretty much lose everything except for that. And that's for me, that's what brought me back.
Yeah.
Because, man, I had made so many bad choices that I'm not saying that it was nobody's fault. It was my fault because I chose to do things, but it probably would, if there was a dream, you know what I mean, that I could have participated in. Because as a youth, there were opportunities to do things, but a lot of it was just on your own.
Right.
And that, I just think, man, you're going to help way more people than you'll ever know, and you probably already have, and a lot of times it's later on in life when we find out that, hey, you had an impact on my life. I'm pretty sure you've probably had people come up to you and say, man, thank you.
Yeah.
That
for sure.
That you don't even know
right.
that you helped.
Right.
But I just think it's real important, man, that you keep doing what you're doing, no matter what. And all those people that doubted you from the start, smile when you
right.
see them, and don't make them feel bad because, they didn't know what they didn't know.
Right. They didn't see it.
Yeah, they couldn't see it.
They couldn't see it.
Well, it wasn't there. It wasn't their vision.
Yeah,
it wasn't for them to see it.
Yeah.
So you did what you had to do.
Yeah.
It's working out for you.
Yeah.
So, man, I'm just going to call it a win for you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Every day.
Is there anything else that I missed that you want to share?
I think we covered a lot, man. I think it's important that people do know that we are here for the kids first. Like that's, and I hope that they hear that when they hear us talking. I hope they hear that in what we're talking about. That it is about these kids. Like we are. Right. Everything we're doing on the Dream School side of it and on the sports side of it with Warren Academy is trying to push kids forward, and we're trying to step to the back. And I hope they see that. And I think, too, is if people see this WA on my chest, they see a lot of kids wearing this around in the community. And we have an expectation of them, too, that if you're wearing this, we want that village mentality. So if you see those kids like, hey, that's not what – you're wearing that, but that's not what that stands for. That's not the expectation of who you're so supposed to be in the community.
Right.
So I like to have that back, that part of my upbringing of that community. If you see people wearing this WA or you see people wearing the Dream logo and they're not doing something right, let them know that's not the expectation, right? Because that's what it takes is for us to help these kids grow is they need that. They need that support. They need that tough love.
I also saw, I think it was a spring game. You had a gang of people came to the spring game.
Yeah.
What was that about, man?
So we used to do Big Dream Weekend. We used to do Big Dream Weekend, and it was just our fundraiser, our annual fundraiser for Dream. And so we would bring all the kids that are a part of not all of them, but the kids that could participate and they could make it. We'd take them down to the spring game, and then a lot of my former teammates and some guys I didn't play with, older, younger, would come out and do the event and, hang out all weekend, and we party and we'd have a good time and fellowship. And it was like a reunion thing for us, and it was all for the cause of helping. And then without that, let me say that, without Nebraska football and what Nebraska football stands for, I would not have been able to do Dream. Because the support that we were able to get because of my playing days and because I was a former Husker, the one thing about this place, and that, they support their own.
Yeah.
They support their own. And so without that, I have to say thank you to this community and my village in Nebraska, because we are not, Dream and Warren Academy are not here today without that. And that spring game event did a lot for us for a lot of years.
Once a Husker.
Always.
Always a Husker.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I just want to again thank you, man, for being on this show. Hey, look, we're going to wrap this show up the same way we do every week. Every day you blessed to see, you got to look like somebody, and do that for yourself. Y'all take care.